Hey everyone. So, when we're building things with AI, there's this one huge design choice we have to make. And honestly, it can be the difference between a system you can trust and a dangerous black box. Today, we're going to dig right into that choice. So, the big question is this: are we asking AI to do the wrong job? It's really easy to get wowed by demos where the AI makes the big, final decision. And yeah, it looks super impressive. But is making it the ultimate judge really the smartest or safest way to go? And we're not talking about small stuff here. We're talking about approving loans, ranking people for jobs, recommending which university someone should go to, or flagging a transaction as fraud. These are serious, high-stakes decisions that really affect people's lives. This really brings us to a tale of two different roles for AI. You've got the AI as the all-powerful judge, but there's a much better, much more solid way to think about it: the AI as a translator. And that's the core idea we're going to unpack today. The big idea is right here. You use AI as a translator at the edges of your system. Where it has to deal with messy human requests on the way in or create easy-to-understand explanations on the way out. But the brain of the operation, the part that actually makes the decision, that stays a simple, transparent, and totally testable engine. So let's break that down. On one side, you have the AI as the judge. Here, the AI model is the business logic. It's a total black box, really hard to test, audit, or explain. But on the other side, when AI is the translator, its job is much simpler. It just translates messy human stuff for a totally separate, clear engine. And then it translates the engine's raw output back into something a person can actually understand. Okay, so that's the theory. But how does this actually work in the real world? Let's look at two really clear patterns that put this whole idea to work. So the first pattern is what we call outside in. This is where the AI sits right at the front door of your system. Its only job is to take all the messy information coming from the outside world and get it structured. And the flow is super straightforward. A person gives some kind of input, just talking or typing in plain English. Then the AI translates that into a perfectly structured request that a machine can understand. And finally, the core engine takes that perfect, clean data and applies its straightforward logic to make the decision. Let's make this totally real. Imagine a parent using a college recommendation tool. They just type in something like, "My daughter wants to study computer science, she prefers Europe, our budget is around $25,000 a year, and we only want to look at schools in the top 300. That's a normal conversational request, right? A little messy. And bam, here's what the AI does. It takes that whole sentence and turns it into this perfectly structured JSON. Now the recommendation engine has the exact, crystal clear parameters it needs to do its job. See what happened? The AI didn't decide which college was best. It just clarified the question. That's the key. All right, so let's flip that around for the second pattern. We're calling this one inside out. Here, the core engine makes its decision first, and then the AI comes in to explain what just happened to the user. So the flow here is basically the reverse. The engine does its thing and spits out some raw technical output. Scores, rules, data traces. The AI then grabs that and translates it into a human-friendly explanation. And finally, the person on the other end gets a summary that actually makes sense.
Okay, think about a credit application. A financial engine might reject it, and the output is just a bunch of computer speak, a risk score of 0.81, and a list of weird codes for contributing factors. It's accurate, for sure, but it's not exactly helpful for the person who just got rejected.
So the AI takes that raw data and turns it into this. We rejected this application due to a high-risk score. The main drivers are frequent late payments. See? It's the same information, but now it's clear, it's understandable, and it's even something you can act on.
So we've seen how it works, but now for the really important part, the payoff. Why does separating these two jobs matter so much? Well, the benefits are just huge. This separation gives you three massive advantages. First, testability. You can test your core engine just like any normal piece of software. Second, accountability. For compliance, you can always trace a decision back to a specific rule. No mysteries. And third, stability. You can constantly upgrade your AI models without worrying that you're accidentally changing your core business policies. And look, this is not just a nice to have. In regulated industries like finance, healthcare, or government, it is an absolute must. You have to be able to answer the question, why was this decision made? And if your AI is a black box judge, good luck with that. It becomes almost impossible.
So we can actually boil all of this down into one single, really powerful design rule that pretty much any team can use when they're building with AI.
And here it is. It's this simple. Put your AI at the boundaries of your system, where it touches the messy human world. But keep the middle, your core business logic, as clear, as predictable, and as easy to inspect as you possibly can.
This little table really sums it up perfectly. On the way in, the AI interprets language, and the engine applies rules. On the way out, the engine gives structured results, and the AI explains them. The jobs are totally separate, and this design just plays to the strengths of each part.
What you end up with, really, is the best of both worlds. You get this amazing human-friendly experience that's powered by AI's ability to handle fuzzy language, but it's all built on a rock-solid, predictable, and trustworthy core engine. And that leaves us with this final thought, which is really powerful. When we build this way, AI gets to do what it is uniquely amazing at, understanding us and explaining the machine to us. It becomes a bridge, not a judge. It helps us use these complex systems without it secretly becoming the conscience of the machine.